There's an uncomfortable truth most people never say out loud. The majority of your failures in life don't come from bad luck, unfair circumstances, or a lack of talent. They come from something far more invisible, the thoughts you never question. Are you ready to face that? Here's what almost no one realizes. The thing draining your energy every single day isn't your job. It isn't pressure from the world. It's the constant noise inside your own head, thoughts racing, overlapping, pulling you in 10 directions at once. You work, but you worry. You try, but you panic. You move forward, yet always feel one step behind the life you want. So you blame time, you blame circumstances, you blame life for being too hard, without realizing that the real driver of your exhaustion has been inside you all along. Take a moment and look honestly. Your mind is like a cluttered room. Things piled everywhere, so messy there's barely space to move, but you've lived in that chaos for so long that it feels normal. You assume everyone lives this way. They don't. Some people learn how to step into that mental room and quiet it. Not total silence, but enough stillness to finally hear the one question that truly matters. What do I actually want? Stillness isn't the absence of thought. It's the discipline to choose which thoughts deserve your attention. And the moment you touch that state, one truth becomes clear. You weren't weak. You weren't lazy. You were simply exhausted from carrying too much mental noise for too long. There's a striking pattern among the people we admire most. They aren't superior because they work more hours. They aren't special because they're luckier. They're different because they fiercely protect their minds from what doesn't matter. Elon Musk isn't known only for working hard. He's known for something deeper. The ability to lock his attention onto a single problem so completely that the rest of the world fades away. That focus isn't talent, it's mental discipline. And the moment you begin to master that, your life starts to feel lighter, clearer, and finally and under your control. That wasn't magic, it was mental discipline, trained, sharpened, and repeated every single day. Kobe Bryant was the same. People remember him for the shots, the championships, the highlights. What they rarely see is what truly built Kobe, the moments no one was watching. 4 a.m. The gym still dark, just him, the ball, and his breath. Kobe wasn't only training his body, he was training his mind to stay steady inside exhaustion, pressure, and doubt. The invisible weight every elite athlete carries. That inner stillness is why when he stepped onto a roaring court filled with noise and expectations, his focus never wavered. Marie Curie revealed the same power in a different form. She didn't chase dozens of goals at once. She chose one question, one experiment, one direction, and followed it to the very end. When the mind isn't torn apart by endless choices, creativity finally has room to grow. These people show us something essential. Stillness isn't surface-level calm. It's a depth of focus so strong that noise can't break through. And once you learn to create that inner space, you begin to understand why they saw what the rest of the world missed. We often think we lack time. The truth is, we lack attention. You're not defeated by one massive challenge each day. You're drained by hundreds of tiny distractions, an unnecessary notification, a random video, a small looping worry. None of them destroy you instantly. They slowly leak your mental energy drop by drop until one day you realize you've been sinking for a long time. Attention is the most valuable currency you own, and it's also the one you waste the most carelessly. What makes this dangerous is that the modern world is designed to steal it from you. Every swipe, every piece of content optimized to hold you a few seconds longer. Each one pulls you further away from the life you actually want to live. Worse still, your brain becomes addicted to quick stimulation. You grow uncomfortable doing nothing, watching nothing, sitting with emptiness. You fear silence because you've forgotten how to be with it. But silence is exactly where change begins. When you shut down cheap distractions, you reclaim the ability to notice what truly matters. You realize how much of your life has been shaped by things that were never worth your concern. From that moment on, you stop spending your attention unconsciously and start investing it into knowledge, into meaningful questions, into goals that can genuinely change your life. When you control your attention, you begin to control your life. And if you want mastery over your mind, you don't need a revolution. You need a daily practice, quiet, intentional, uncompromising. That's where real power's built. You don't need to start big. You only need to start small enough that you can't make excuses, yet strong enough to quietly rewire how your brain works. Stillness doesn't arrive in a moment of enlightenment. It's built through steady, repeated practices that teach the mind how to pause again. Each time you notice a thought and let it pass without reacting, you're reminding yourself of something powerful. Not every thought deserves a response. That is the first real lesson of mental freedom. There will be days when your mind feels so chaotic that even 3 seconds of stillness feels impossible. And yet, those 3 seconds are the doorway. 3 seconds to breathe, 3 seconds to see what's actually happening, 3 seconds to choose a response instead of being dragged into reaction. That pause is a quiet form of strength. One only the trained can recognize. You can practice presence while walking, while waiting in line, while washing your hands. Feel your steps, feel your breath. Don't control it, just be there. Those small moments stack up. They build a kind of mental muscle that keeps you from being pulled around by trivial things. And write down what's weighing on your mind. Paper is where chaos becomes clarity. Once your thoughts are laid out in front of you, it becomes obvious what truly matters and what is nothing more than temporary noise. Then, create space. No devices, no music, just you and silence. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is proof your mind is relearning how to return to itself. One day, without warning, you'll notice something shift. The thoughts that once arrived like a storm begin to slow down. They stop pushing you. They stop hijacking your emotions. They wait, as if asking permission to be heard. That's the first sign of a trained mind. In that stillness, you start to see what chaos once hid, a clearer direction, better choices, and sometimes an opportunity you've walked past again and again without noticing. Stillness doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger, strong enough to move through difficulty without losing yourself. It gives you distance, enough to see situations not through raw emotion, but through clarity. And that clarity changes how you move. Calmer, more grounded, more decisive, despite the noise of the world. When you reach that state, you realize something quietly profound. You are no longer being carried by life. You are steering it. And that is where real adulthood begins.